Shooting is one of the most fun aspects of playing lacrosse. Be deliberate in how you teach the fundamentals of shooting to set players up for success. It's also your responsibility to teach your players the girls' game rules and address unsafe shooting, and teach your defenders how to avoid shooting space calls. The following video will show you how to teach fundamental shooting mechanics.
Hi, I'm Danielle Gallagher. We're going to talk about level 1 in shooting.
Shooting is a controlled throw toward the goal cage in an attempt to score. The technique used to throw a ball and to shoot a ball is very similar. However, the intended results are vastly different. A pass to a teammate is intended to be caught, and a shot on goal is intended to get by the goalkeeper. When learning how to shoot, players built on skills they've already learned, namely how to pass. Certain factors such as speed, accuracy, and trajectory determine the difference between a throw and a shot. Each factor needs to be introduced and developed as changes to the basic throwing motion. This section will instruct you on how to teach each of these factors. Shooting is the most creative skill in lacrosse, and there are endless combinations of movements and fakes that can be added to this skill. The types of shots the attackers will use depend on where they are on the field and where the defense and goalie are positioned. Shooters need to develop a repertoire of shots because players who have only one shot are too easily defended, especially at higher competitive levels. Diversifying shooting skills and shot selection will be further developed in Level 2. But to begin, let's start by introducing the basic skills required for an effective overhand shot. 3 critical components of shooting are power, placement, and creativity. Shooting drills need to develop all 3 components on an equal basis and be practiced often. To increase speed and power. The shooter begins by facing the goal with her feet offset and shoulder width apart. A right-handed shooter will have her left foot in front, and a left-handed shooter will have her right foot in front. The shooter rotates her hips so her shoulders are perpendicular to the goal. As she reaches back with her stick, her arms should be away from her body, not too tight by her side. Her top hand should be slid about 1/3 of the way down the stick, while the bottom hand is at the bottom of the stick. As the shooter pulls the stick back, her top hand should be about 6 inches higher than the shoulder, and the bottom hand should be slightly below the shoulder. As she rotates her hips and reaches back with her stick, she transfers her weight to her back foot. When she begins the shooting motion, she shifts her weight from her back foot to her front foot and steps toward the goal with her front foot. Her stick is positioned behind her head, which will make the goalie lose sight of the ball for a second and have a harder time finding it when the shot is taken. The shooter first drives the bottom hand forward while stepping toward the goal and rotating her hips toward the goal. She then snaps the top hand forward toward the cage while pulling the bottom hand back toward her body. The push and snap of the top hand and the pull of the bottom hand act as a lever and provide the power and accuracy for the shot. The shooter completes the shooting motion by following through across her body as her hips, shoulders, and back foot complete their rotation. As the shooter completes her follow-through, her bottom hand, the left hand, should finish behind her left hip with the left elbow up and away from the body. The momentum of putting the body behind the shot by rotating hips and shoulders as the shooter steps into the shot will cause the shooter to step forward with the back foot and add pace and power to the shot. To increase accuracy, lead with your head. Teach shooters to see the net, not the goalie when they are shooting. Focus on the open space around the goalkeeper. Emphasize following through to the targeted space after the initial release. Keep 2 hands on the stick at all times. Progress from stationary shooting to shooting on the move and then shooting off of a catch. Throughout the skills progression, emphasize seeing the net and following through to the targeted space. To change trajectory, emphasize following through towards the targeted space to increase accuracy and change the level of the shot. Snapping the wrist quickly and completely during the overhand release will enhance shot placement by adding power to the shot. Progress from stationary shooting to shooting on the move and then shooting off of a catch. Emphasize shot selection by setting up drills that identify where and when to release an effective shot. That is, set up drills where shooters release or catch and release shots inside the 8 meter. Error. Missing the goal cage. Correction. Prior to releasing the ball, check that the player has looked for free space in which to shoot safely away from a defender or a teammate. Check the shooter's follow-through. Make sure she is stepping toward the cage and not at a poor angle that will throw off the accuracy of her shot. A player must prepare her body and stick position before releasing a shot. Error. Shooting directly at the goalkeeper. Correction. Encourage players to aim towards the space in the netting and not to look at the goalkeeper. Using targets in the goal will help. Encourage the shooter to release her shot sooner than later to have more of an angle to score.